What is up, everybody? This is Kez Got Game. I'm Kalel Zephyr, and I'm back with my two uncles as guests. Today we're going to be talking about mostly basketball. We got playoffs. And first series we want to talk about, we have to talk about the Celtics being brought to 7 by the Philadelphia 76ers.
Do we have to?
Unfortunately, we do have to. What do you guys' thoughts?
I'll be honest with you. It's kind of disappointing, to say the least, only because the fact that if you look at Game 1, what Maxey did, we were able to bounce back from that, So I thought that, we're there, right? And then Game 3, we violated them, right? No, Game 4. Game 4. I'm sorry, Game 4. Even with Embiid coming back, violated them. Who cares? But the last two games, especially Game 6. Game 6
was embarrassing.
Was embarrassing. Because I'm not gonna lie, the previous game in Philly, we did good. So I'm thinking, you know what? We'll go to their house, finish it up.
And when you watch that game, when you look at the stats, nobody played well.
Nobody. And I feel like it's crazy to say this. We need the real playoff Peyton Pritchard to step up.
Yes.
Like, we need
He had
Peyton.
one game. That was Game 4.
That's it.
Derek White, we need more scoring from him. I don't know where he's been.
Yeah, there's a lot of blame to go around. I would say I could absorb Game 2 because the Celtics are going to do that to you during the playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
Game 3, that's when I felt the most comfortable because it was hard fought in Philly. So Game 4 surprised me. I didn't expect Game 4, right? I thought it was going to be similar to Game 3, right?
I knew we had one of those games in us, though.
I mean, I wasn't expecting it to go down like that, especially with Embiid's first game back. I thought,
okay.
it'll be similar to Game 3.
Yeah.
I'm obviously glad we won. And I'm like, okay, we're going to wrap this thing up in 5.
Easy.
Play our role players, you know what I'm saying? In my head, I'm thinking hard fought till the third quarter, and then we take it over in the fourth.
Yep.
It was actually them taking it over in the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at what happened during that game, I said, pretty much our offense just got bogged down. Like, we couldn't move the ball at all. And I look at Philly and I'm thinking, okay, they do have some solid defenders, but right now, between that game and Game 6, they're literally locking down our guys. The only one who is moving through the defense at all is when Tatum gets in the pick and roll. JB can't move the ball. Derek White can't move the ball. We can't go inside to any of the bigs. Pritchard, I don't think he's played as much. When he gets in, though, they have been locking him up. He hasn't been getting loose like he did in Game 3.
Which, on that note, we should be starting Pritchard over Derek White at this point.
So, Mazzulla. Mazzulla's going to play his guys. Derek White just has to play better. Because Mazzulla, you could be in the midst of the other team on like a 20-2 run, and he's going to be like, figure it out.
Not going to make adjustments.
I'm not going to say he's not going to make adjustments.
Until the
he just is not going to call a timeout to save you unless something really bad happens, right?
Yeah.
So, Tatum looked like he was kind of hurt. He calls a timeout, basically waves the white flag. And I'm like, maybe we did that a little early because if you played the bench guys and you brought it into 12, then why not bring back in JB, see if he got something for you? So I thought maybe he waved the towel a little bit early. But now he doesn't really have a choice. It's kind of like last year when Tatum went down against the Knicks and you had to play Cornette and Keita and the other guys. Now you have to play these guys in Game 7 because if you lose to Philly in the first round, they're going to look at you sideways. Like, they're not going to look at Tatum coming off the Achilles. They're not going to look at JB with the season that he had, right? You can look at Derek White, but I don't know what that's going to do for you. They're going to look at him sideways. Now, his job is solid. It's not going to be like anything's going to happen to him this offseason. But, man, what a wasted opportunity because on paper, Philly looks tough with their starting lineup right now, but we should beat them. And we should have won in 5.
Mm-hmm.
When we blow Game 5, the Game 6 had an opportunity to go that way, And when the first few calls didn't go our way, and then the crowd started going into it, and now they're doing alley-oop dunks, I'm like, yo, it was a wrap from there. The energy was just gone. So I think we had the ability for that Game 6 to go that way, and it did. Now we gotta steal momentum back in Game 7. But what it does is it casts a doubt on the next round if you get there.
Yeah,
In terms of you if win Game 7, because you shouldn't have gone to 7 with Philly. You should have won in 5.
in terms of Tatum, the injury report has nobody, so it looks like he is playing.
I figured he wouldn't sit out. Yeah.
My thoughts on that, like personally, I feel as if we should have, even if he's cool to play, we should have let him sit unless we needed him, and just stick with how things have been going all season with Jaylen Brown.
So I feel like at the end of the season, they needed him to do that to get him back into the swing of things because they know we were going to need him for the playoffs.
Yes.
So that last push, that last run towards the end of the season, let's just get him game ready. Let's just give him some time. Let's get him to, get acclimated into the system and all those things. So he needed that time just to get his feet set, you know what I'm saying? Because, again, at practice, that's practice.
Yeah.
In the game, at game speed,
Very
where people come at, is completely different. So they needed to test him, make sure, like, you know what, your Achilles is good. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, when he came back, he almost dropped a triple-double first game back.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad that he came
One
back.
assist off.
Exactly. I'm not mad he came back. I'm not at all. Like I said, I think he needed that, but it's just the amount of pressure that's on him now, because now it's like, all right, we need you now. Because clearly, like, we need you to just take it over. Like, take it over completely.
I'm glad somebody said it. I have much love for JB, but in the playoffs, against a team like the Sixers, against a coach like a Nick Nurse, who puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defenders to, check your weaknesses, like, they're making JB work. If he scores, it is a tough turnaround fadeaway for him to score.
Yep.
He's not bullying his way to the basket like he did in the regular season. He's not getting away with any push-offs. The refs are calling it immediately. So in order to generate any sort of offense or to collapse the defense to kick it out, he's having to work tremendously hard, and it's just not working.
Yeah.
So Tatum has to run the offense, and if it has to go through Tatum, you're back at where you were last year, and so you need Tatum to become Superman Tatum. And that tweak of the calf, I'm sorry, I grabbed my chest. I'm like, not again. So when they sat him for the rest of the game, I'm like, okay, he's probably going to be on the injury report. If he's not on the injury report, I guess he's good because he has to play Game 7, but I'm not. I feel a little bit uneasy, but again, I got to trust that he knows his body and everyone else, the staff, the medical staff does. So he's going to go out there. He's going to do his thing. I feel like we should win the game. It's a bad taste in your mouth that you ended up going to 7 because you should have wrapped this in 5 and then rested his legs a couple days before the next round. Because what's going to happen is if you think Philly's putting some pressure on you to try to score, the Knicks are going to put pressure on you to try to score, and JB is not going to bully his way to the basket again. So the offense has to run through Tatum. There's no other point guard besides Pritchard, and he don't start. And the reason he doesn't start is they're going to pick on him.
Defense.
He's a liability on defense.
Yeah.
So, and the key point that you made, like, right now, if this is what Philly is taking us to the brink, imagine what New York got waiting for.
A New York team that just
Annihilated.
What's up with Atlanta?
embarrassed.
Yo,
Bro, I'm not
On
saying
their
I'm
home
disappointed
floor.
because I had the Knicks winning the series. I'm not going to say I'm shocked. I just thought at this point it's going to go to 7 because
Fight.
Atlanta will fight. Even when the Knicks went on a crazy run, you're down 20 in the era of the 3-ball. You could make a game of it. They basically quit.
so
Yeah.
here's when I could not believe it, right? So, again, I work with a lot of people that are crazy New York Knicks fans. So, mind you, I'm getting phone calls, text messages. End of the first quarter is 40-15. I'm like, you know what? All right, y'all got that, right? Stop paying attention. I'm doing what I need to do, blah, blah, blah. I turned the TV back on, and I was in awe that the score said 111-59.
You saw it at that point. When I was just basically watching the Celtics collapse, I looked up, right, on NBC Sports Network, and it said 83-32 or whatever it was. And I'm like, y'all getting 50 piece at the rib
Yo,
in the offs?
In the
You
first half.
In the first half.
You could lose.
There was
Don't
a-
get me wrong.
There
You
was
could
a point
lose.
where OG Anunoby was outscoring the Hawks.
Yeah.
OG Anunoby.
First-
You
No,
could
first
lose
quarter.
a playoff game.
First quarter, he dropped 17, I think, and they had 15.
You could lose a playoff game, but have some pride.
Yo,
50 pieced in the offs in an elimination game.
at home.
yeah.
I tried. So the last time I was here, I told Mo, we were doing the list and we were saying, there's a couple people up next. And I said, Jalen Johnson, one of those people up next. I don't know if I'm convinced with this playoff performance that he's in that next tier. Maybe the one below, because you have to have some pride about you. But at the same time, we also talked about D Book and getting swept. I don't know if I can put you in the top 10 if you're getting swept in the first round. I don't care who you're
To
facing.
be,
but
I don't care who you're facing.
but
to get
okay.
swept in the first round, if you top 10, you got to do more than he did.
So here's my thing, though, right? I get it, as far as D Book getting swept, but who does he have over there? When
Yeah, they
you look,
overachieved.
when you look to your right, and the person you got to depend on is Dylan Brooks. That
The
sounds
villain, bro.
just like
Say his name
Like-
correctly.
you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the stats and everything. I'm like, wait, Dylan Brooks took the most shots for your team tonight?
He was showing the most heart and the most life. He wanted the smoke.
I think
he
he just
he got fire. He got fire. He wanted the smoke. He got the fire, and SGA took that personally.
I think Devin Booker's don't. I think Devin Booker's just over Phoenix at this point.
Maybe.
No, he's loyal and all that, but I just
No, I think he
we were
was
having
there.
the debate about D. Mitchell. We said the playoffs were going to be very interesting and very revealing, and it has been.
It has been for
Because
sure.
we were talking about the whole D. Mitchell, D. Book. And D. Mitchell still has something to answer for, because you better not get to 7 with the Raptors. Let's put the Celtics aside. They're champions. But 7 with the Raptors? Scotty Barnes? B.I.? Cooking you? So, again, the D. Mitchell, D. Book debate will continue to rage on. But I don't like that D. Book got swept, and I don't like that D. Mitchell is potentially going to 7. If they win tonight, it's a little bit different story. But
And-
always, D. Mitchell has a much better team with him.
Andy Mitchell's defense, Harden's giving the ball away like it's like it's a
But we know who playoff Harden is. So this was known going into the offs who playoff Harden
No,
is.
it's
He'll give
one-
you a game. He'll give you a game where he's phenomenal.
yeah. That was game 1.
But for the most part,
No, it's one thing to disappear, but he's there, and he's not being like. It's one thing to be a non-factor, but he's a negative factor.
I don't know that he's been better than Garland. I can't say that.
No,
Has he been better than Garland?
no.
I-
Outside of that one game
Although
1,
I will say this, Harden will shoot. Garland was having some
So-
issues pulling the trigger.
So I just looked at it real quick because I just wanted to because I know it was bad, but turnovers. Game 1, 4. Game 2, 5. Game 3, 8.
Yeah, 8's bad.
Then 7 and 6. Like you are like
Anything over 4 for a ball handler like that
Come
is
on.
bad. 4 is okay because you handle the ball so much. It's not fantastic. It's okay. But you
8,
talk about 8,
7,
8 and
6.
7. Yeah, no,
Like,
you can't. You
you
can't win
can't.
in the playoffs like
you
that.
can't.
That's too much.
speaking of which, Cade was putting up those numbers too.
So I'm a Cade supporter. That being said, I cannot defend the turnovers. Now, the Magic will turn you over. They're a physical defense and all that. And in Cade's defense, I mean, he really not getting a ton from his teammates like that.
That's what I was gonna say.
He's not getting a ton.
Especially Jalen Duran.
And I don't want to put all the blame on Cade because of that.
Yeah.
Duran has gone ghost.
But
Ghost.
He hasn't been. So again, if you look at him, does his bag include shot creation and creativity? No. He's an inside big, rebounding, lob, putback. Like he's not.
So where is that?
He doesn't have it in his bag. What do
No, you
mean,
said he's the inside big. Where is? I don't even see him doing that.
You're gonna have to ask JB Bickerstaff.
Wendell Carter's on him.
You're gonna have to ask JB
Wendell Carter,
Bickerstaff.
come on. Like it's like he's not showing up at all. Like Cade got to drop 40 for them to win. And that's not sustainable. Every single night he has to do that.
I'm not as familiar with how the Pistons want to run their offense. Obviously, I know Cade has the ball in his hands, but are they designing Duran plays? Does it look like they have Duran plays?
I'll
Like
say
a
this.
Duran package?
After game 1, I think they said, you know what, let's not go that route anymore.
After one game?
So game 1, he was bad.
You can have a bad game in the offs.
He was bad.
You can have a bad game in the offs.
And
It
then-
Not when you're the second option.
Exactly. That's my thing.
Okay, I'm not saying we haven't. So going back to the last time I was here and we talked about who do you trust in the Eastern Conference, I was iffy on the Knicks. Obviously, they looked better towards the end of the Hawks series. I told you the Cavs were frauds. The jury is still out. I told you I didn't trust the Pistons yet. The jury is still out, right? I was most confident in the Celtics, but the way they're trying to run their offense against the Sixers gives me a cause to pause. Time will still tell if, we'll figure that out and Joe Mazzulla changes his rotations. But looking at the Eastern Conference, again, a Cavs Magic series doesn't inspire me. I mean, that side of the bracket is just, right? Now, even if the Pistons end up coming back to win, again, that says something about the Magic, but also just, I mean, could we be headed for a Raptors Magic semifinal?
Which would be disgusting.
I mean, this is that part of the bracket is boring. The other side of the bracket, I think whoever wins in what I think is going to be the Celtics-Knicks series is coming out of the East.
Yes.
Okay? Now, the Knicks know this, and now they're getting maybe additional day of rest to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at the other side of the bracket, could you be one of those teams and be sort of like excited about your future if you're ultimately food for whoever wins the semifinal on the other side? Because I'm telling you right now, if the Celtics see the Pistons or the Magic or the Knicks see the Pistons or the Magic, regardless of what happened in the regular season, what I'm seeing from those teams, you don't have a long playoff run in you based on how you're playing ball. The Magic play physical defense, don't get me wrong, but they have lapses as well where it's just like, where do you really go for like your number one option? Is it Paolo? Is it Franz? Is it Bane?
I think it's Paul.
So I'll say this, right? So if you look at the Magic, I don't think like maybe they just match up really well against the Pistons. But if you think of like towards the end of the season, the Magic were the 6th seed. The Hawks snuck in, beat them, pushed them out. They lost that first play-in and then dropped down to the 8th seed. But they were trending at the 6th seed. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't want to talk about the Magic like they're just food. Like right now in the off, they're showing us like, because I'll be honest with you, I was sleeping on Paulo. Because I was like, you know what? He can go off, but he's really not. I haven't seen nothing, but he's hooping. He's hooping right now.
I don't hate his game. I think he's a good player. I don't have him in that sort of tier of people who are next.
You don't?
And it's because you have him in a tier of people who are next.
I think.
I'll say
so.
this, right? The East
Right.
isn't super deep.
Prior to
It's not.
Prior
It's
to-
honestly, to me, I think it's the Celtics and Knicks, and then
Well, the Magic were supposed to compete. They were supposed to be one of those teams to start the year, right? I mean, they were supposed to take that next step, and it was supposed to be because of Paolo. And I don't know if it was slowed down in the beginning of the year from injury or what have you, right? I didn't pay too much attention to their history this year, but I got to see them play against the Celtics bench in the last game up close, and that was bad.
Really bad.
And
Prior to this
Again.
year, I think anybody would have had Paolo in that up next tier, but I don't know what happened during the regular season. He really struggled, but he's showing who he was supposed to be in this play.
So let me ask you guys this then.
I have him in the Jalen Johnson tier.
So let me ask you guys this: if Magic do beat the Pistons in round one, then what do you say about it?
If the Magic beat the Pistons in round one, I already saw them lose to the Cavs. I want to see what you do against the Cleveland Cavaliers this time around. That second round will tell me more because, again, I already had my reservations about the Pistons in the playoffs already. And so them losing in the first round, okay, it could happen. But let me see what the Magic do against the Cavs in the second round because I still feel like the Cavs haven't shown me much. I don't know why they don't use Evan Mobley more than they do.
Yeah.
But they could make it to the Eastern Conference Finals because they could beat Orlando.
Yes.
They've beaten Orlando in 7 last time, so we'll see. But, man, what a turnaround it would be if somehow the Magic beat them. The Cavs would continue to be frauds, and the Magic would have made the Eastern Conference Finals. And so you would have to respect Paolo. If they make the Eastern Conference Finals, yes, you'd have to respect them. Yeah.
There's a world where, God forbid, the Sixers win Game 7, shock the Knicks, and play the Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Stop.
So
Like,
if playoff P
come on.
is going to continue to play like he's still on his juice, maybe this dude's not missing any threes. He's locking people. I'm like, this is a rejuvenated Paul George. But that's not even the main reason. If they beat the Celtics, it's going to be because of their defense. And they have guys where they can put Edgecombe has been holding his own. Maxi's playing better defense than I give him credit for. Oubre is playing really good defense, pretty much locking up JB, like almost on his own. Like no one person locks up JB like that, but he's been playing really well against them. Even Edgecombe has. That's why like I'm a little bit disappointed in what I've been seeing from him. Hopefully he comes out, playing with a little bit more fire in Game 7. But if Embiid gets healthier, he's tough to handle in the middle, right? And Paul George is looking like, again, another really good wing defender. So they have the talent on paper to cause some problems for New York in terms of, like, Brunson trying to roam around, right? Like, because they can switch, right? So they can cause some problems for New York. Remember, they had a 7-game series. What was that, 2 years ago? The Knicks and the Sixers? Was that a first-round series?
Was it? I think
Was that a 7-game series?
was that
Or
7?
6 or 7? Something like that. It was
I
6 or
don't think-
7.
Yeah, I think it was 6.
So
I
they
think.
had a battle recently. But I'll say this. It's still that's going to be a major disappointment for New York.
But this wouldn't be the same team.
So hold on. Boston's out, and you lose to the Sixers, and they go to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time? That's a major disappointment for New York.
Yeah.
So, because it's either Boston takes you out or no one, or you go to the finals.
Moving on.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Timberwolves taking out the Nuggets?
Honestly, so I am a fan of Anthony Edwards. I like the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves have been battling the Nuggets for a while, year after year. It sucks that he was hurt and it wasn't really part of that team to actually finally win and take them down. But I'll be honestly, congratulations to them. That was a hard-fought battle, and they stepped up. Especially, like I said, without Anthony Edwards for them to do that, that speaks volumes. I mean,
Shout out
Jokic.
Jaden McDaniels.
Shout out Jaden McDaniels, right? Talking his talk, and they backed it up. Like I said, without Anthony Edwards, Jokic potentially going up for MVP, you know what I'm saying, for the incredible year he had, and for them to take down that team, kudos to them. Kudos.
So, Brad Stevens, you the GOAT. But listen to this. We need more Jaden McDaniels type players on the Celtics. If you can get you a player like that, get you a dog like that. He talked his talk and he backed it up. Did he have a bad game in between? Sure. But he talked his talk and he backed it up. Now, Ant, I like Ant. But your team won a series without you now.
This is a lot. Against the one team you could not beat. Like, y'all kept losing to the Nuggets. So, yeah, that says a lot.
I mean,
it says a lot.
Your team beat the Nuggets without you now.
Without you.
So,
Well,
we can no longer say
he did go up
that
3-1.
he doesn't. We can no longer say that he doesn't.
No, because that last game, he didn't really, he left.
yeah.
Like, so you can't say he went up 3-1. They won that one without him.
2-1.
we can say, listen, we can no longer say that he doesn't have help on his team. You got Gobert, McDaniel, like now we can say that Randall, Nas Reed, like no, there are players on that team. And it stinks that they got the injuries. Like DiVincenzo, that's a huge blow.
Yeah, huge.
Because I feel like if Ant does come back, they can make, a run in the West. I mean, they've been to the Western Conference Finals. What was it, two years in a row, right? They were in the Western Conference Finals. So I feel bad for the Wolves and their fans because they're a fun team to watch, and they, and when they get going, they're really tough to beat. Now, that being said about Denver, we kept hearing about how Joker needs another championship to solidify his place. He had that run to the championship, and there's injuries and on this and that. Like, he's finally got a team. They brought in Valanciunas to back him up. Like, all this stuff. This was supposed to be the year they were going to go to the finals. I picked them to go to the finals this year based on how the bracket was going to be set up. And to lose in the first round to Minnesota after they lost Ant, I'm sure that there's going to have their reasons why that happened. It's not a good look for him.
No.
And it's not a good look for him. Now, and another thing, his Superman, sort of aura started to come down a little bit because his numbers could, he's a triple-double guy, right? And sure enough, he had some. But he also had some bad games.
Very inefficient.
So,
That
which
was
is
Gobert.
unlike him. But again, every player, every great player has nemesis, you know what I'm saying, throughout, and Gobert seems to be his, but it's not a good, you can't start to get bounced out in the first round. I'm not saying he's got to win another championship, but first round exits are not good. I remember I said this because there's a Game 7 for the Celtics on Saturday. If you're in your prime, first round exits are not a thing. They're not supposed to be a thing.
They're not.
Yeah.
And Joker is still there and still, got a claim to being one of the best players, if not still the best player in the world. First round exits are not good.
Speaking of Gobert, I think he can get exposed next series. I don't think Wemby's a great match for him at all. The way he can play the perimeter and Gobert can't defensively. I think, as for a prediction, I think Spurs win that in 5 or maybe 6 games if Ants come back.
So my take on the Spurs is that obviously the youth was going to play a factor in experience and all that. I do like how they played against the Blazers, but it is the Blazers. And we'll see how they play against a veteran team that's been there, done that before. But you're right. Wemby, just from a matchup standpoint, Gobert it's not a good matchup for Gobert. And we'll see if Ant comes back because then it can get real exciting. But yeah, the Spurs on paper, just based on the injuries, should win that series. I just want to see if Ant comes back. I think it tilts it a little bit, back to more being more even, right? But if Ant's not there, also without DiVincenzo and his shooting, the Spurs are just shooting lights out. And then you got Wemby. The Spurs should win that series.
Now, maybe the most interesting series so far, I think, was the Lakers and Rockets series. Because
You think
you
so?
have KD out for most of the series.
Which is
Then the
disappointing.
The
Yeah.
Lakers go up 3-0, which, by the way, he played game 2, had 9 turnovers. And the Rockets have won 2 in a row, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're down 3-2. Those 2 games without KD. And now the Lakers have a game 6 in Houston to not be in a game 7 where you're risking blowing the first 3-0 lead in playoffs history.
Do you know that if the Rockets didn't have that crazy sequence at
They'd be
the
up
end,
3-2.
they'd be up 3-2 with a chance to win this series right now. So this has been kind of an odd series. Sorry, it's been kind of an odd series. I don't know what to make of Houston. Like, the Lakers are obviously who they are, right? They were waiting on Reeves to come back. They're still waiting on Luka to come back. They're going to be a LeBron-led team with some guys who are going to make some shots. The role players are going to play their roles. We'll see what you get from Ayton. But the Lakers are pretty much, you can see what you're going to get from the Lakers. Houston, to me, should have dominated them based off of, size, youth, all this stuff. Like, Pete, the way that the series was picked was Houston in like 5 without Luka and Reeves, right?
Yeah.
So Houston I don't understand them. And I'll go back to something, obviously I listened to this, right? JJ was saying that, what's up with their player development? What's up with Jabari Smith? What's up with Eason? What's up with Amen Thompson not being able to shoot?
That's
yo.
the problem with KD.
Like, where is your player development? These guys have been in your system now for a couple of years. I mean, I don't want to say it's simple. I'm not in the NBA. But guys who are natural athletes, wings, whatever, can jump out the gym and defend, you can spend time with them at the three-point line developing a shot. Where has this been? Like,
Not even the 3. Give me a mid-range. Give me a midi.
Something.
Like, give me something.
I don't understand Houston, because based on their talent,
Yeah.
they should not be in this sort of dogfight with the LeBron Lakers. And LeBron is giving it all he's got. But come on, man. Like, the Rockets they're an enigma. I don't understand them.
And that's the issue with KD. Like, you can't put him on a team with young guys that are waiting to take that next step, because he's not going to help them develop.
He's not.
He's just gonna be himself. You put him on a team where he's an accessory, he can help you win a ring. You saw that with the Warriors. He's not a guy that. He's not a guy.
KD's
that
not a
helps his
leader?
team. No.
So no,
He
and
doesn't
I
make his
agree.
teammates
Like,
better.
look at when he was on the Phoenix Suns, right? Like,
Yeah.
he didn't. Like, you're supposed to help the younger guys get better,
He just did his own
and
thing.
that's just not him. Like, exactly, he literally does his own thing.
He doesn't make his teammates better.
He doesn't.
This takes me back to when Danny Ainge visited him and really wanted him to join the Celtics before he joined the Warriors. Now, obviously, he made his choice. They won 2 rings, right? Like, he's not going to look back on that. But now, just thinking about how, like, he doesn't help young guys develop, I don't think it would have been good for the Jays.
No.
He wouldn't have.
So I'm good with that. I'm good with that. He went and got his rings. The Jays ended up getting their ring. Hopefully they get more. But yeah, he didn't help the Rockets develop at all. And there was that crazy, like, locker room talk and all the stuff that they were having during the season with the Rockets.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Ime is just messy. Like, get your team in order.
Yeah.
And this, what the Rockets win or lose the series and inevitably get swept or losing 5 to OKC, regardless, this is not good at all for KD's legacy.
Yeah, he can't even get on the court. I'm disappointed. I did want to see him play in the playoffs. Like, if the Rockets do lose, if they don't win this game 6, force a game 7, if they lose the series, where do you go from here? Because people are saying, oh, KD might have played his last game with the Rockets. So you're going to go to another team?
I think he has to.
Like, what's your legacy? You're going to go another team? I don't know, KD.
I can see
Where's he going to go?
the Nuggets.
So my thing is, it's not
The
just
Nuggets?
stop. So it's not just where else is he gonna go. It's what are you like? What do you want out of that team? Would you want to be a starter somewhere? Where do you want to put Kevin Durant as a starter and automatically put them as championship contenders?
No, not the Nuggets. He could hop over the Pistons. I'm not saying it's a good move for either parties, but he could do
So
that.
again,
Why would the Rockets take KD for Tobias Harris?
seriously,
I mean, sorry, why would the Rockets take Tobias for KD? Although, is he a free agent where it wouldn't necessarily be they're trading him? Is he a free agent?
KD, is it a 1 year deal that he signed?
I believe so.
And
I just don't
Tobias has been like the only other person trying to hoop with Cade. But at the end of the day, you're right. Detroit could use a secondary
scorer,
scorer.
yeah.
So KD could go to Detroit. Yeah.
But my thing is, right, as far as like with Detroit, I feel like they've established like that physical, we're dogs. You gonna get that out of KD?
No.
It's not his game.
It's not. So then that just takes away from. I don't know. I am a Kevin Durant fan, but I just don't see where you can place him where he'll add value to a team where they'll be championship contenders. I don't.
KD's one of my favorite players,
That's
but
not-
like his
it's not a
legacy
KD thing,
is
though.
his
He doesn't-
legacy is kind of
He'll be there and
No, you can't say that.
assist with the scoring, but I don't think he adds value to a team.
Well, I'll say this in today's NBA, looking at all the teams right now, yes, I agree. Like I said, I don't see which team I can be like, you know what, plug and play. Let me put him here, and yes, we're going to contend for a champ. I don't see what team you can do that with him.
he can help Detroit. We just talked about a team. He can help Detroit because with a secondary score, he doesn't have to come in there and be the guy because Cade's the guy. He can just be an additional bucket. He helps Detroit. You
But
can't.
what would
say-
Detroit have to sacrifice to get KD?
I don't know.
That's another
Well,
thing.
no, Detroit has assets. Remember, they didn't do anything at the trade deadline when they could have. Remember?
That's
so
true.
Detroit has assets right now. I don't know if they have to trade for KD or he becomes a free agent or what have you, but from what I know, Detroit has assets that they held on to. They could have used at the trade deadline, so they're getting criticized. But yeah, KD could absolutely help Detroit. I'm just looking across the landscape. You know who needs KD? Phoenix. The Warriors could have used him too. But yeah, no, I mean, the whole KD thing is interesting. Like he absolutely could have, I would have liked to seen him more in this series.
So let me ask you a question then. What does your finals projections? What do you think coming out of the West and who's coming out the East?
Finals predictions right now. Can we get out the first round first? I don't know.
I'm just saying,
I mean,
looking at how things are going, who do you see coming out of the West? Because, I mean, out of the West, I think we all can see it's either going to be the Thunder or I'm going to give it to the Thunder.
I think San Antonio.
San Antonio. I was going to say Thunder or San Antonio. That's why I look at when I think of the West.
I like what I saw.
this is
of
why I
them
said
in
let
the
me
first
let me
round.
finish the first round. But we saw the Spurs handle their business, and the Thunder are always sweeping their first round. But I mean, people talk about how bad the East is, but whoever the 8th seed is in the West is always food, and the Thunder just make quick work of them.
That's true.
Right? Now, that being said, the recent history is that the defending champions don't make it to the conference finals. I don't see where either the Lakers or the Rockets push OKC.
I think the Lakers would have a better chance doing it. And
Luka would have to come back and play a couple games.
I think he is.
When is he coming back?
I believe he's coming back next round. But regardless,
He'd have to come back for game 2 at the at the latest, game 2 against the Thunder. But again, that being said, I think LeBron's basketball IQ helps him in that, if I'm thinking about Lakers Rockets, the Rockets will get cooked. I think Lakers have a little bit of a better chance, and that's with Austin Reeves' magical whistle he gets and Luka doing something, Luca like, right? Astronomical, right? But he
And
has to come
LeBron
back.
being the Swiss Army knife.
LeBron is going to give you, high basketball IQ. Like I'm saying, he'll give you what you need, whether he needs to rebound or defend or what have you. He doesn't need to do it all, and that's why you want Luca back. They have no shot without Luca. That's why, if you're asking me right now, that's why I wanted the first round to end. If you're asking me right now, do I trust San Antonio enough to say that they'll beat the Thunder? I don't know. They did do well against them in the regular season, but we can't trust regular season. So I'll probably, to be on the safe side, go with the Thunder in the West. And in the East, if we're going by just what we've seen up until today and nothing else has happened, you go with New York.
Yeah.
Right?
Sad to say. It's true.
But let me see what I see on Saturday, and I might change my mind. But right now, yeah. They have a hungry team. A coach that's on the hot seat because they made a change, and so you want to do better. You know what I mean? Like they have all that stuff. They have the celebrity row, so they got that home court, right? Tough to play in Madison Square Garden, although C.J. McCollum ain't got no problem apparently. But they got, right now, if you're just asking at this very moment, yeah. But ask me again on Saturday night. And then ask me again after game one in Boston, how is the tone going to be set in that game one?
No, game one is gonna. If we end up playing the Knicks, the game one is gonna teach us a lot about how the series is gonna go.
For sure.
Yeah, the game one sets the tone because last time I don't think that we particularly played well or had our best stuff, and we ended up being up by 20 at some point in the game. Now, obviously, we ultimately blew that, but. For us to not even play that well and still be up by 20, that was crazy. Now, I don't know that we can mess around and get up by 20. Like, we have to be intentional about what we're doing, and, we'll see how they defend. The interesting thing, though, is if we're going by usage and stuff like that, if we are able to hunt matchups against New York and JB ends up on JB, yeah, he can bully his way around Brunson to get into the paint to cause some problems, more so than he's been doing against Maxey and Edgecombe. I don't know why he's letting Maxey and Edgecombe post him up because he should be able to get around them. But if it's Brunson, we've seen he can get around Brunson and get into the paint. Yeah. So that's something I am going to watch for. It's crazy. Sixers fans were called delusional. But looking at that lineup right now, when they're healthy, they're a pretty tough team.
Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, we'll see. Game 7. I trust the Celtics. You're not gonna lose 3 home games in a playoff series. That'd be devastating. Surely so not. You come out, you show some fight in Game 7. Your role players should play better if Mazzulla even plays them. And then, you should win that game, and we'll see what happens in the next round. Because it doesn't start until, May 4th? Is that Monday? So you don't even have quick. 2 days off. Yeah, it's quick. You don't even have 2 days off. But it is going to be in Boston, so you just stay in Boston, right? You don't got to travel anywhere. So,
moving on.
Yeah.
The Rookie of the Year was announced. They picked Cooper Flag. And what do you guys think about that? Obviously, it was a 2-man race with him and Knuppel.
So, my quick thoughts. I feel like with the Rookie of the Year, I feel like it's they have their guy, they have their favorite, and I feel like that's what they go with. Because if we look what Knuppel did as a rookie, right? The amount of 3-pointers he made, the fact that his team had a fighting chance in the play-in to actually make some noise. Isn't that what, that's...
Which...
I feel like that's what you should go by. Cooper Flag, you're on a team where they traded away AD's gone, Kyrie's hurt. You are the team. They're giving you the green light to do whatever you want.
I do ask, do they consider play-in for Rookie of the Year and awards?
I feel like where your team places,
because Knuppel, He played horrible in the playing games.
No,
They
so
say
that's
you're not
do they
supposed
consider
to.
that?
So
but
they
some
don't.
people
They don't.
said
They don't.
Some people said they did. You're not supposed to, but some people say that they did. I don't know if that's what ultimately hurt him, but they say that you're not supposed to.
So here's my thing: if you're gonna count that, Cooper Flag's already at the house. He's already on the couch at that point. So
He rested his case.
that's just how I feel about it. And honestly, I feel like I said, whenever it comes down to like these Rookie of the Year, MVP, I feel like they have their guy that they want to choose. Because I mean, even history's shown it before too. I feel like there's other times where there's people that should have won Rookie of the Year that didn't because they already chose their guy, right? Because snubs happen. It's the NBA, right? And it's funny because when Cooper won it, I forgot what podcast I was watching. I think it was it was 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. I think it was Melo's, right? And they brought that up. The year LeBron won it over Melo.
That was
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, I feel like, again, they have their guy. Cooper Flag, he is the white horse. That's who they want to push the league on. He's the next one up. So Concanipple wasn't, in their eyes, that wasn't supposed to happen. Right?
I agree with Mike 100%. One thing about this league is they are going to push a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And
what's
sometimes
going on with Jay.
sometimes it's odd, and I listen, I'll get to that in a second. But the Rookie of the Year, they wanted Cooper Flag to be the guy from day one.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to promote him. They wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's similar to Wemby, right? It's supposed to be like one of these like unicorn type players, right? And so they kept highlighting, even, you know, despite the loss. Look at his numbers, despite the loss, right? Look at the, you know, and you saw when they post on the NBA, you know, accounts, and it's like first player since Michael Jordan to do X, Y. You know what I'm saying? And Khan was just quietly putting together a really solid season. And at some point during the year, he was leading the Rookie of the Year race. And the NBA said, no. Let's get this PR back up. Right? So they're like, we're not going to deal with that PR. So they I think they pushed the flag agenda because for some of these awards, like Mike said, they like their guys. That'll take me back to the MVP because a couple years ago, this is after SGA finished second in the MVP race. I don't know why he finished second. I don't think he had a better year than, say, a Luke or anyone else, but he finished second in MVP. And I remember I was listening to the Hoop Collective podcast. This is Windhorse, McMahon, and Bontemps. And Bontemps said something that still bothers me to this day. The Celtics are defending champions. They're coming into the year, right? They should be favorites to win. I know OKC had the number one seed last year, but they got bounced in the second round. And he goes, it's Luka's or SGA's award to lose. We hadn't played a second of basketball in the season yet, and they already had their ballots ready. It's Luka's or SGA's to lose. So SGA played great, but I thought that Joker had better numbers in his MVP years. But the agenda had already been set. Mm-hmm. I don't want to take anything away from SGA. He's played really great. And then this year, which is going to be supposedly his second straight MVP, I feel like this was kind of like one of those years where it was odd with the MVP and they wanted someone else to and they're just like, I guess, you know, we'll give it to SGA, best player on best team, right? Like,
so my thing is this, right? I just want to know what factors in on this MVP.
They don't
because my
have a
man
consistent
Joker
thing. No.
led the league in assists and led the league in rebounds.
They don't have anything consistent. Usually they'll say, oh, you average a triple-double. That's, you know, some phenomenal feat that no one's ever done. We'll give you the MVP, which would mean first player to lead in rebounds and assists together should win it.
Because Jokic is doing it all the time, so they just take it for granted now.
But when they say, oh, it's supposed to be best player on best team, then why didn't, you know, Tatum become a finalist any year? Because the Celtics have, look at the last 5 years, best record in the NBA the last 5 years. In the year that they won it and went 64-18, he finished sixth in MVP vote. He couldn't even be a finalist. Not to win it. He couldn't even be a finalist. So don't give me this best player on best team nonsense, because you're not consistent with that sort of narrative,
Yep.
right? And so they pick and choose what makes sense for them to push MVP. You know,
Bro, they didn't even want to mention JB's name.
no,
this
no, no,
year.
no. Don't say that, because
They didn't.
Whether it was the NBA themselves, but the media pushed
Oh,
the
the-
JB
they
MVP.
did, but-
yeah.
They never, whenever the ESPN or thing like that, they never mention JB as a.
I'm just gonna say the media heads, the Michael Wilbons, those people.
I
I
think-
mean,
no. So they spoke
JB
up for him.
The
They spoke up
JB
for him.
campaign, the JB campaign this year was pretty prominent. You even saw what's his name, Chuck D, who's obviously a prominent New Yorker. I don't even know if he's tweeted in the last 3 years. He's like, JB is the MVP, and you know all this. Like, I'm like, whoa.
So I
I'm
said,
like, JB's PR was through the roof this year from the other media
As-
people. It was.
JB obviously had an insane year, but just the amount of guys that were in that mix, I don't think he could have won. Like you had,
No, I
no,
don't
no,
think
no.
I don't think he was.
And
gonna win
I
either.
didn't think he was going to win, but I just, again, like I said, I wanted the NBA to at least put his name up there, right? As far as like, okay, if you guys are going
The
to mention
Celtics
like,
did.
if you're going to mention like the five people in the running for it, I wanted to see
if he
JB's
wanted those
name,
5.
and I didn't see that. That's what I'm saying. I heard people like LeBron James spoke about it. I heard what's his name?
You had Melo, T-Mac. There's a bunch.
Yeah,
of
a bunch of
people,
those guys. But
media
it's like,
people.
okay, they're talking about it on podcasts. Melo getting interviewed. Yeah, he brought up and said he doesn't know why JB's name isn't getting brought up enough. Like,
The NBA agenda. I'm telling you, the NBA agenda. They got their people.
Exactly.
They want the push, right? You know, is the best player on best team? Is the best story? Well, I mean, they're not consistent. The MVP. LeBron said it. LeBron said it's a popularity contest, and I just don't know if JB is as popular with the people as they want him to be. You know what I'm saying? So
not.
he's popular with Celtics, but I don't know if he's as popular with the people as they want him to be. It's a popularity contest. They are pushing the SGA.
yeah,
They are pushing it. So, I mean, that's what you have. So going back to Rookie of the Year, I think Khan played phenomenal. I think he was on a team in a system where he fit. He was winning. You know, he set a record, all that. But Cooper was their man from day one, and
Yeah, and you mentioned
I wasn't shocked that he won it.
You mentioned before that obviously I think Khan did deserve it, but I just wanted to defend Flag a little bit because you said earlier Khan was a front runner and they just pushed Flag. That I think that was around the time where Flag just started going off.
But his team
had-
was losing.
Yeah.
So it's not even about necessarily, value at that point. Now, obviously, he's valuable, but people talk about it all the time.
But I mean,
don't
what-
box score watch. Like, he was putting up phenomenal highlights, and he was PRA man, and despite the loss, man, putting up lots of numbers, and then the Mavericks were losing by like double digits.
exactly.
So
what is the criteria behind Rookie of the Year?
I don't
they
know
give
what
it-
these voters use for their stuff, because to me,
Do they give it to the best stats guy? Do they give it to the one
the rookie that's supposed to have the most impact.
That's what so that word you just said, impact. So when I look at like MVP or Rookie of the Year, that's what's in my head is
Yes.
impact. If you're not on this team, where would that team be right now? The impact that you are providing, right? Where you're taking your team to, that's what should get you that award, right? So when you look at MVP voting, right? That person on that team brought their team to the next level. They're the reason why their team is there right now. Con Knipple doing that, him with the addition of Melo, his push is the reason why they were able to get to that point. Yes.
He did absolutely help.
Cooper Flag, I'm not taking any away from Cooper's game. He can ball. Cooper can ball, right? But you are on a team where you guys have zero expectations. You guys are losing. Again, Cooper dropped 40, and like you said, they lost by 13. Coop did this. They lost by 17. Like
If
you
Cooper
know
Flag
what I'm
wasn't
saying?
there, they would have missed the playoffs. He was there and they missed the playoffs.
Exactly.
So we're talking about impact.
Exactly.
But I'll say
If
this:
Cooper Flag wasn't there, I think they're contending for the number 1 overall pick, though.
I mean, how far off are they?
Right?
They didn't even make the play in the West,
Yeah, they didn't.
right?
didn't.
So again,
And that's the top 10 team. So
If-
you weren't even top 10 in your
if
conference.
if Joker is not on the Nuggets with all he does, they have a tough time keeping up. I know they played really well for a stretch this year, but I'm telling you, they'd have a tough time keeping up. At one point during the year, because people kept making a mess about JB's on-off, I took a look. I was looking at all the on-off throughout the league. You know, the top like 8 or 9 guys were all Thunder. SGA wasn't even number 1 at one point. I think it was like Caruso. Your team is a super team. What they say about Tatum, no. SGA's team is a super team. It's Chet, Caruso, Case and Wallace. Like those guys, on-off numbers were through the roof. And I know on-off is like one of these weird stats that people don't really understand. But your team is dominating teams even if you're not out there.
And this isn't something where, like, it's how the team played without him, but Shea played a bad game in Game 1 against the Suns, and they killed the Suns. They embarrassed them.
Again, the Suns aren't really all that good this year, but I'm telling you, the Thunder are still a really good team.
Yeah.
If SGA decided he was just not really going to play like that, like they'd still be a really good team. So in terms of impact, Joker's impact is a little bit more, right? Like for his team to contend. Now we're seeing some of that start to wear off. Like I'm not saying he's getting up there in age, like he's still in his prime, but it takes its toll on you, especially in the playoffs, playing against a physical team like Minnesota. Like you can't just overwhelm a game like that anymore.
I think if you're talking strictly value and impact, it's Wemby.
And
But again, the Spurs were also like the way the Spurs are playing under Mitch Johnson, they were also contending. Now, Wemby, from a defensive standpoint, their defense, falls through the floor if Wemby's not out there.
Yeah.
But offensively, they're still
I think
scoring
it's
still- yeah, they're
bunches
still scoring.
I
without
think the
him.
offensive values, the offensive ratings are still low
Yeah.
without him.
Well, I mean,
lower, but they're
Yeah.
still. But
No.
again, that team though, even if Wemby's not, they can score. Their defense you will feel it on defense. So I understand where he's coming from, but someone like Joker, like, come on, I
Yeah.
feel like especially in the playoffs where it hurt them as well too. Where was Aaron Gordon?
he got hurt, I thought. He ended up getting hurt, I thought.
He ended up getting hurt, but the first couple of games though, like you said earlier, a team needs that dog, someone with that grit, right?
I
Aaron
wanted
Gordon
Jaden
when they
McDaniels on
won
my
it,
team.
when they won it, Aaron Gordon was that.
And we didn't really see playoff Jamal Murray.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
We did not. No, so they had him clamped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But speaking about like the seating and stuff like that, I don't know if you want to get to the new lottery
The new
rules,
lottery?
but
Yeah.
but in terms of just like the rookie of the year and MVP voting and stuff like that, yeah, the NBA has their agendas. It's so funny how they do this stuff because I don't know where the Celtics are this year without JB playing the way that he was playing. Now, is that enough to put him at the top of the MVP stuff? No. But they definitely needed JB out on the floor. Because when you look at the Celtics, and I love D. White, right? If you look at the Celtics and you remove JB, like that's not a tough roster right now,
Like,
right?
Where are you getting your points from?
Pritchard's going to have to cook.
Every
day. So I think JB, yes, people are right. JB deserves some more love. Mm-hmm. And it's in terms of, I don't like to only use the argument like, oh, if you take this player off the team, they're terrible. I don't like to only use that because, like, there are other good players on the team. But he was doing more than just what his stats on the court were. He's a leader on the team. Even when Tatum's back, he's a leader on that team. And they listen to him and, and who knows? I love what Mazzulla and the coaching staff have done to develop like Kada and Walsh and those other guys. But JB's also in their ear too. So you got to give him some credit for that as well.
Has to be, because I'll say it honestly, no one this year expected us to be the second seed in the East.
No one.
No one.
No.
Not even I. I had
No,
us,
I didn't have the Celtics there.
Like no one.
I had us being a playing team going into this year.
So again, I can't predict what the playoff seeding was, because again, that's all relative to where the other teams are. But Vegas had them at like 43.5. And I'm like, yeah, we're in the low 40s.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. I did not have us in the mid to high 50s, right?
No.
Like, and so that like plus 10, that's a big jump in the NBA.
It is.
And you got to give credit to all the people on the stat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where a lot of people were shocked at how well Kata and the other guys and you know, I'm not surprised at how well JB's playing. JB's an all-NBA guy, but it's just to lift the team to that position in order to get Tatum back. That's huge.
Yeah, you mentioned before the new lottery rules. I don't like them. And the reason I don't like them, I'll give you an example. The Spurs picked number one overall, of course, to grab Wemby, and he struggled with health the first two seasons of his career, and they had lottery picks again. They picked Steph Castle the year after, the first year after they got him. Then they picked Dylan Harper. The lottery rules these new lottery rules would prevent that from happening when the Spurs weren't necessarily tanking. They just weren't at their best the whole year.
So I was searching for reasons to hate the new lottery rules. And the more I thought about it, I said, there's a lot of talent in the NBA. There's too much talent for you to have the Wizards. You know what I mean? The Jazz. Like, you should win more games because you got teams like, and I'm a Celtics fan, they're having dogfights with teams where they sit all their starters. These guys off the bench will come and give you 40. Io just had 40 in a playoff game, right? Coming off the bench. So there's talent on NBA teams. Don't tell me that you have to lose 60 games in a season, right? So the people who are trying to do this in the NBA, you can say what you want about them. I'm sure they thought about this a lot. But you should absolutely penalize teams that are only winning like 10 games a year. Like the Spurs, even losing Wemby, and we keep talking about impact. You're not that terrible because you don't have Wemby on the team, right? You have to penalize tanking. And so they're saying, you know, if you get to the play-in, you get one ping pong ball, right? If you get to the 7-8 matchup, right? The 9-10 matchup, I think you can get 2 ping pong balls, right? And then if you're one of those teams that like is just outside of that contending, right? So either you're 9-10 or you're just outside of it. I think it's like 3 ping pong balls. Sorry, I was trying to look through the rules, but I think they're trying to like look for teams that are gonna put forth some effort some nights, but it's just not ultimately good enough.
Yeah.
But tanking teams like I'm gonna bench my whole roster, or we're winning in the fourth quarter and now let me take out all my starters. They're gonna penalize you because you can't tell me that with this much talent on some of these teams that they're this bad, like 15, 16 game losing streaks. Like, you got to do something about that. So I was looking for reasons to hate it, and I'm like, they got to do something.
I think the Wizards are that bad, but the Jazz,
I don't know
think
if
they're
they're
a talented
that
team.
bad. I think that there's some tank. There absolutely is some tanking going on with some of these teams. I don't think these teams are that bad.
What team was it they were talking? Was it the Kings that did that when they were like up?
Yep.
And they went and fouled and did like so stuff like that. Like, yeah, like come on. Like at the end of the day, you guys have fans that are paying tickets to come see basketball games. Like nobody deserves to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just when it gets to that point, it's like it's ridiculous.
I think with the Kings, you have guys like Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis. On the Jazz, you have guys like Keontae George, Lauri Markkanen.
You have talent.
Yeah.
You should not be losing that many games. You have talent on your team. Let's talk about the Bulls. You trade Ayo. You trade Kobe White. Why are you giving away all this talent?
They're a team. We were talking about this earlier. They're a team just full of guards. Like they got rid of everything.
Yes, and they just
But
stacked up on guards.
But I don't understand what your strategy is long term. And so the NBA is saying, you better win some games with those because we're not going to give you the number one overall pick.
Yeah.
Like, we're not. So I may not love exactly how the tanking rules are, but like I'm saying, on the way here, I was searching for a reason to hate the new rules, or the proposed rules, I should say, rather, because it hasn't been, approved yet. I don't necessarily hate it. They're gonna reward people who actually are trying to make the play-in. You may not be good enough to make the playoffs, but so for example, the Hornets, they weren't trying to tank. They had bad first parts of the year. Mm-hmm. They made the play-in. They should be rewarded with getting another good player, right? As opposed to, like, I keep bringing up the Wizards or the Pelicans. Why are you so bad? Like, nah, you're tanking. You have talent on your team.
To your point of the Wizards, I do think they were obviously tanking, but they're not that talented either. Anthony Davis isn't on the court much. They gave up C.J. McCollum.
They got Trey over there.
I don't think he played. That was part of the tanking, but
of course, that's what I'm telling you.
I don't think he didn't play.
That's what I'm telling you. The NBA has to do something about. There were so many teams this year that were in the AJ sweepstakes.
Yeah.
So the NBA has to do something about that. You can't be rewarded with the best player in the draft because you're not putting forth any effort. And fans are paying.
Great class coming.
This is a great class. The fans are paying money to see players play, and you're benching them. Like, no, this is the NBA had to do something. So, like, I was searching for a reason to hate it. I don't hate it. They did something. They tried to do something.
The last topic I wanted to talk about was obviously we've been hearing for months that A.J. Brown's going to be traded, and realistically, most likely after the June 1st deadline that we've known about, most likely he's going to be a Patriot. What do you guys think the ask for would be for A.J.?
Since he's still connected to the Patriots even now, and it's been rumored that it's gonna happen, I feel like they have a handshake that they're gonna get the first round pick that they want, being a future one, because the fact that nobody else is trying to prevent him from going to the Patriots to swoop in to get a bigger deal, it's because they don't want to come up off of more than what the Patriots are offering. Yeah. So the Patriots are probably offering a first. Yeah. And it scares me a little bit, not because I don't think that AJ is going to be great. I think in new scenery, right, like, with Drake May, obviously he should be great. I think that the fact that other teams don't think he's worth overbidding the Patriots, because you would think that someone would be like, nah, we're going to overbid. We don't want the Patriots to get him. And no one is doing that. Unless someone does come and do it, but the rumors are that New England, and the NFL's smart, they're putting this out there to make it seem like he's, to make it seem sexier, but maybe the deal doesn't get done. I don't know. Schefter seems to think that it is, but yeah, it's kind of interesting to me that nobody else is coming in and trying to say that they're going to outbid the New England Patriots, which means it's probably going to be a first-round pick, which is what Howie Roseman wants.
I think there's been talks that not just the first-round pick, Booty has been put in talks.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that either.
I don't want to do that. I like younger talent.
I wouldn't want to do that, but when you look at our receiving core with A.J. Brown, you have obviously A.J. Brown. You have Dobbs. You have Kyle Williams. You have Pop. I wouldn't want to give up Booty, but if it's
so you're saying a first round pick and Booty?
Yeah, that's kind of
it's crazy, but
that's giving up a first round pick. And
I don't think
and I know Booty wasn't necessarily like a first round. Booty is a first round talent, like supposedly from when they were doing his evaluation. So you're giving up a young, like rookie contract, I guess, right?
I believe
like talent.
I believe it's a 2028 first round pick, so not like a first round pick for exactly next year for that great class.
I don't know. I don't like the idea of having to give up Booty. Like, I'd give up a first and like maybe another draft pick, but I don't know that I'd give up Kayshon Booty, because without Diggs, right?
Personally, I'd rather give up Pop.
Without Diggs, you're talking about playing Romeo Dobbs in the slot. You're talking about Pop Douglas being sort of another sort of like, 4 wide receiver set, another slot guy. And you got Booty on one side and Brown on the other side. I like that a lot better than Brown, Dobbs, and say like Pop Douglas or Kyle Williams. You know what I mean? Like I just, if you're gonna go all out to try to get AJ Brown, I still want Booty on the other side because I think he'll keep the defense honest. And if you're looking at the AFC East with how they shored up some of these defenses, I mean the Jets fixed their defense. They're still the Jets, but they fixed their defense, and the Dolphins, they still got a good defense. I would rather not have to give up young talent to get AJ. If they're asking for a first-round pick, fine, you get a future first-round pick. But no, I'm not. I don't like the idea of giving up Kayshon Boutte. Because that Roseman, nah, he's too smart. That's an undercover fleece to me. I don't like it.
And these are definitely not real, but I've heard talks of giving up Gonzo for him. That's ridiculous.
That would not happen at all.
No, that's
like Gonzo. That's a generational talent. Like
ridiculous.
Gonzo is the truth. Like, I don't see that happening at all.
It's ridiculous.
They would praise Howie Roseman, the greatest mind of this century, if we got Gonzo for AJ.
And this is the thing I don't understand. And it's almost like the NBA too with Presti and Brad Stevens. Like some front offices are just so much more effective and efficient than other offices. Like the Eagles, you see some of the deals they make and the players they get, and you're like, how are they continuing to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Just
like when they got Saquon,
just a week ago they picked up Jonathan Grenard from the Vikings. That's a great pickup.
The Eagles front office is doing tremendous work to continue to have talent all up and down that roster. So all the talk about Jalen Hurts is warranted because the rest of the roster is solid. So the offense needs to get his act together because it's not the defense's fault. And you got a running game, and I guess AJ wants to get out of there, but they can. The thing about receiving the NBA is, and the NFL is, you can find some diamond in the rough talent as far as receiver, especially
Kyle Lemon to be his replacement.
And if someone doesn't want to be there, it's not going to be good for your locker room. So, but I think the Eagles will be fine. I just think that the way their front office works, it's crazy to me. Like I'm surprised they don't end up with something. They'll turn around and grab some talent off the 49ers if the 49ers feel like they're not going to do anything. Because there's a lot of talent on the 49ers, and they haven't been able to get it done yet. I'm waiting for that fire sale. There's a lot of talent on that team when it ultimately does happen. And they say that Lynch is bad at his job, but he's stacking talent on the 49ers. So
that's where we're gonna end things off. Stay tuned next week they're probably gonna announce the MVP and probably a lot of other news that comes out. So stay tuned next week.